Your life must look bigger than her attention. A woman can feel when your whole life is waiting for one reply, one smile, one chance, one small sign that she likes you. You may think you are hiding it, but it leaks out in the way you move. You check your phone too fast. You reply like you have been sitting there waiting. You make yourself too available. You cancel things too easily. You start treating her mood like the weather report for your whole day. And when a woman feels that, attraction becomes harder. Because now she does not feel like she is meeting a man with a life. She feels like she is meeting a man looking for a life through her. That is where many men lose power before the conversation even begins. It is not because they are ugly. It is not because they are broke. It is because their energy says, please give me meaning. A woman may enjoy the attention for a while, but deep down, it does not make her curious. It makes her feel like you are already too easy to have. Your life has to have weight outside of her. That means when she looks at you, listens to you, or watches how you move, she can sense that you are not empty when she is not there. You have a routine, you have places to be, you have something you are trying to become. Maybe you go to the gym, maybe you are building your money, maybe you are learning a skill, maybe you are fixing your situation one step at a time. It does not have to look flashy. It has to look real. A man who wakes up and actually has a direction carries a different kind of energy. He does not need to talk too much about his ambition because it shows in how he uses his time. He does not spend the whole day chasing a woman who has not shown interest because his day already has structure. He can like her without making her the center of his mind. That balance is powerful. It tells her, I see you, I'm interested, but my life does not stop because you are beautiful. This is where lifestyle becomes part of attraction. Not the fake lifestyle where you rent cars, post money, and pretend your life is bigger than it is. I am talking about the simple things that make a man feel solid. Your room is not a disaster. Your clothes are not always thrown together like you just gave up. Your body shows that you care enough to maintain it. Your phone is not full of desperate messages to women who barely respond. Your week has movement. You see your friends, you handle your work. You have small wins you are stacking quietly. When you approach her from that kind of life, you do not sound like every man trying to escape loneliness through a woman. You sound grounded. You can talk to her, enjoy her presence, and still leave without looking wounded. That is what makes her look again. Not because you ignored her to play games, but because your life clearly does not need her attention to feel complete. Carry yourself like a man who is already chosen. Before you say anything to a woman, she has already started reading you. She notices how you walk into the room. She notices whether your shoulders are tight or relaxed. She notices if your eyes keep running away when she looks back. She notices if you move like you are afraid of taking up space. A lot of men think attraction begins with the perfect line, but the line only lands properly when the man behind it looks steady. You can say the right words with the wrong energy and still lose her. If you walk up like you are apologizing for existing, your compliment will not feel strong. If your voice is shaking because you have already placed her above you, she will feel that too. Carrying yourself well is not about acting arrogant. It is about not shrinking just because a woman is attractive. A man who carries himself well does not rush his movements. He does not enter a place looking around to see who approves of him. He does not laugh too loudly at things that are not funny, just to seem interesting. He does not keep adjusting himself because he feels watched. He stands like he belongs where he is. He speaks at a pace that lets his words breathe. When he makes eye contact, he does not stare like he is trying to dominate, and he does not look away like he got caught doing something wrong. He holds the moment calmly. That calmness matters more than many men understand. A woman may not say, I like his posture, or I like the way he walks, but she feels the difference between a man who is comfortable with himself and a man who is begging the room to accept him. Carry yourself like a man who already knows he has value before she reacts. That means you do not overperform when she smiles. You do not collapse when she seems cold. You do not suddenly become louder because another man is nearby. You stay in your frame. You can be warm without being weak. You can be confident without acting like a clown. You can approach her with interest without acting like her answer decides your worth. That is the kind of presence that makes a woman reconsider you. Even if she was not interested at first, she may start paying attention because you are not moving like the other men who lose themselves around her. You are not trying to prove you are enough. You are moving like a man who already knows he is enough, and now she has to decide whether she is paying attention or missing something. Dress like you respect yourself before you want respect from her. A woman can tell when you put no thought into yourself and still expect her to be impressed. You do not need designer clothes. You do not need a luxury watch. You do not need to look like you stepped out of a music video. You just need to look like you did not leave your house by accident. Clean clothes. Clothes that fit your body instead of swallowing you or squeezing you. Shoes that are not begging for retirement. Hair that looks handled. Skin that looks cared for. A scent that is clean without choking the room. These things sound simple because they are simple, and that is why it is crazy how many men ignore them. You cannot walk around looking careless and then wonder why a woman does not immediately feel curious. The way you present yourself tells her how seriously you take your own presence. The mistake is thinking dressing well is about showing off. It is not. Dressing well is about removing unnecessary distractions. If your shirt is stained, if your slippers are broken, if your hair looks rough every time she sees you, if your nails look like you have never paid attention to them, she may not sit there and judge you out loud. She will simply feel that something is off. Attraction is not always destroyed by one big mistake. Sometimes it dies quietly through small signs that say, this man does not maintain himself. And maintenance matters. A man who keeps himself clean and sharp sends a message before he opens his mouth. He says, I care about how I move through the world. That kind of care is attractive because it shows discipline in a visible way. She does not need to know your whole routine yet. She can see the result on you. And this is not about becoming fake. Do not dress like a man you are not. Do not copy another guy's style because women online said it is attractive. Find what fits your body, your lifestyle, your age, your environment, and your pocket. A clean, plain shirt can beat an expensive outfit worn badly. A simple pair of jeans with good shoes can do more than loud clothes that look like you are begging to be noticed. Keep your hair neat. Smell good. Iron your clothes. Wear colors that do not make you look confused. Stand straight inside what you wear. When you look intentional, you feel different. When you feel different, you move different. And when you move different, a woman who was not paying attention may suddenly notice that something about you has changed. Stop acting like her beauty makes you smaller. The moment some men see a beautiful woman, they start reducing themselves. Their voice changes, their smile becomes too wide, their jokes become too forced. They start complimenting her like they are reading from the same script every other man has used on her since morning. You're so beautiful. You're perfect. I've never seen someone like you. And maybe she smiles because she is used to it. Maybe she says thank you. But inside, nothing moves. Why? Because you did what every man does when he feels below her. You made her beauty the main event and placed yourself in the crowd watching it. That is not how you create interest. That is how you become another face in the line. When you treat her beauty like it makes you smaller, she feels the imbalance immediately. She feels you trying too hard to be liked. She feels you choosing your words too carefully because you are afraid of losing a chance you do not even have yet. You become too agreeable. She says something basic and you laugh too much. She gives a short answer and you rush to fill the silence. She looks away and you panic inside. Now the whole interaction is no longer a man talking to a woman. It becomes a man trying to survive a woman's reaction. That energy is heavy. It makes her feel like she has to carry the whole moment. And even if she likes attention, she will not feel pulled toward the man who makes her feel like his confidence disappears around her. You can appreciate her beauty without worshiping it. That is the difference. You can notice her, speak to her, and still remain yourself. A simple compliment can work when it comes from a man who is not using it as a begging bowl. Say it once if it fits, then move on like you have more going on in your head than her face. Talk to her like a real person. Challenge her lightly when the moment calls for it. Ask something that actually gives her room to show personality. Do not act shocked that she exists. Beautiful women are used to men becoming nervous, loud, fake, or overly polite around them. When you stay grounded, she feels the contrast. You are not ignoring your beauty. You're just not letting it remove your backbone. That is when she starts wondering why you are not reacting like the rest. Let your routine make you more attractive than your words. A woman may not see your whole routine, but she can feel what your routine has done to you. She can feel whether you spend your days building yourself or wasting yourself. She can feel whether your body has been ignored for years or maintained with some level of care. She can feel whether your mind is sharp or scattered. She can feel whether your life has order or whether you are just drifting from one distraction to another. This is why attraction is not only about the moment you approach her. The man she meets in that moment is the result of what you have been doing when nobody was watching. Your sleep, your work, your body, your grooming, your money habits, your friendships, your discipline, all of it follows you into the room. If your routine is weak, you will try to replace it with words. You will talk too much about your dreams because your daily life does not show movement. You will brag about who you are becoming because you do not yet trust the way you are living. You will try to impress her with stories, plans, and promises, hoping she sees potential where you have not created proof. That is a hard way to attract a woman. Potential can catch attention for a moment, but a man who is actually doing something with himself feels different. He does not need to announce every small win. His body looks more alive. His clothes fit better. His voice carries more certainty. His decisions are cleaner. He is not easily pulled apart by every mood, message, or rejection because his day has structure. Build a life that makes you easier to respect before you ask a woman to be interested. Wake up and handle something. Train your body. Keep your space clean. Learn how to make and manage money. Stop spending every night scrolling through women you are not even talking to. Get better at something that can improve your future. Spend time around men who are also trying to move forward, not men who sit around complaining about women while doing nothing with themselves. This is not about becoming perfect before you approach her. It is about becoming a man whose life is already moving. When she sees that, even in small ways, your words carry more weight. You are not just saying you are different. Your routine has already started making you different. Make the conversation feel easy, not hungry. The way you talk to her matters, but not in the way most men think. It is not about having the perfect pickup line. It is not about saying something so clever that she suddenly forgets every other man in her phone. It is not about forcing her to laugh, forcing chemistry, or turning every small exchange into a test you must pass. The real difference is how the conversation feels around you. Some men make a woman feel like she has been pulled into an interview. They ask question after question because they are scared of silence. Where are you from? What do you do? Do you have a boyfriend? Can I get your number? It becomes too much too fast. She can feel that you are not enjoying the moment. You are trying to secure a result. And once a woman feels that hunger, she starts protecting her space. A good conversation has room inside it. You speak, then you let her speak. You ask something simple, then you actually listen to the answer. You do not jump on every word she says like a man searching for an opening. You do not laugh too hard just because she said something small. You do not rush to prove you have money, confidence, experience, or options. You let the moment breathe. That is what makes you feel different. A woman can relax around a man who is not trying to trap her attention. She can become curious when your energy does not feel like pressure. You can tease lightly, smile naturally, notice something real, and keep your voice steady. You can say, "You look like you already judged this place before you sat down," and let it land. You can say, "I like your energy. You seem calm, but I can tell you notice everything." Then stop talking for a second. Let her respond. Let her feel that you are not throwing words at her because you are scared she might leave. The strongest approach is simple. Show interest, stay relaxed, and do not overstay the moment. If she gives you warmth, stay in the conversation. If she answers with effort, continue. If she smiles, asks you questions back, or gives you more than one-word replies, there is something to work with. If she is dry, closed, distracted, or clearly not interested, leave clean. That clean exit matters. Do not punish her with attitude. Do not beg for a second chance. Do not start performing harder because her energy is low. Just say something calm and leave with your pride intact. All right, I'll let you get back to what you were doing. Enjoy your day. That kind of exit is powerful because it shows you can handle rejection without becoming small or bitter. Sometimes she will not care. Sometimes she will remember you later because you did what most men cannot do. You showed interest without handing her control over your self-worth. Become the man she thinks about after you leave. Attracting a woman who is not already interested is not about chasing her harder. That is where many men get it wrong. They think if she is not interested, they must increase the pressure. More compliments, more messages, more attention, more effort, more proof. They start acting like her disinterest is a locked door, and their job is to kick it open. That is not attraction. That is need wearing a nice shirt. A woman does not become curious because you are desperate enough to keep pushing. She becomes curious when your presence makes her reassess what she thought she saw. Maybe she thought you were just another man trying his luck. Then she sees how you carry yourself. She sees you do not shrink around beauty. She sees your life has motion. She sees you dress with intention, speak with calm, and leave without looking wounded. That is when something can shift. You want her to feel that you are not trying to borrow value from her attention. That is the whole game. When your life is empty, her attention feels like food. When your confidence is weak, her smile feels like permission. When your routine is poor, her approval becomes something you try to use to feel better about yourself. And that is exactly why you start moving wrong. You rush. You explain. You perform. You stare at your phone waiting for her reply. You start measuring your day by whether she gave you energy or not. A man who lives like that cannot create real attraction for long, because he is asking a woman to carry something he should be carrying himself. Your life must already give you weight. Your habits must already be shaping you. Your clothes, your body, your room, your work, your money, your discipline, your friendships, your calm. All of it becomes part of the man she meets before you ever say your name. So approach her, but approach her like a man with a life behind him. Smile because you mean it, not because you are begging to be liked. Compliment her if it is real, then move on instead of kneeling inside the compliment. Ask questions that give the moment room, not questions that make her feel trapped. Let her beauty be something you notice, not something that removes your backbone. And when the energy is not there, leave without turning cold. That alone will separate you from the men who cannot take one step back without feeling humiliated. The goal is not to force every woman to want you. The goal is to become the kind of man whose presence creates curiosity, whose absence does not look like defeat, and whose life keeps moving either way. When you carry yourself like that, you stop chasing attraction like a starving man. You start creating it by the way you live, the way you speak, and the way you walk away when the moment is done.